It's working. It's working. We're good. We're live. We're live. Um, so like I just said, firstly, thank you everybody for coming. Secondly, if I can bring strangers like you to a community like this, just know there are still good people in the world. Because I know we live in a world now on social media where everybody's like, oh, there's AI, technology, there's fake people everywhere, people pretending, people stealing, people lying. But the reality is there are still good people like us in the world, and we attract the person that we are. So based on the human being that I've created, like I told Maria, from going from that super shy introvert to becoming this confident, bolder version of me, every single one of you here, if you have any level of shyness, if any of you are worried, scared, the only reason why you feel like that is because you worry about someone else's opinion. You care about what someone else or what people on social media think of you. When the reality is my life changed when I was like, I just don't give a crap what Hannah thinks, what Sabi thinks, what Maria thinks, what Amir thinks. I don't care what you guys think. You find so much freedom and fulfillment and peace when you can just be yourself in the most authentic version that you are. Because people will always judge you. People will always say things about you. People will always laugh at you. People will always stop you from going after your dreams. But in the real world that we live in now, you can do whatever you set your mind to. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. You have to work towards those. But like I said earlier, the reason why I started the community is because I felt that sense of loneliness. I felt that sense of, man, I just work one-on-one with clients. I don't have a group of people that I can bring together so we can brainstorm ideas and concepts and work towards other collaborations with each other. So for me, the most important thing is how can every single one of you sitting here right now today, meeting as strangers, by the end of tonight, you should be able to be like, man, I just met my new bestie in Dubai. I just can't wait to start a podcast with that person I met. Or I can't wait to go on a content creation day out in Dubai with that person I just met. Or I just found my next gym buddy. Like you don't know who is sitting in this room right now. That's what I said in a message yesterday. You don't know who's in the group right now. That one conversation, one handshake can change everything. And again, I want to give a massive shout out to my beautiful friend here, Amir. Like he said, we met. It's such a funny story. Exactly a year ago from now in Dubai, while I was here, setting up my company in end of 2023, and in the beginning of 2024, he came from Chicago, and he literally was like he told me that when he first came, it was literally he found me on Instagram. The power of content creation, guys. He probably went into the explore page, right, and typed in content creators in Dubai or just something in Dubai. And because I make content every single day, he must have just come across one of my reels, clicked on my account because he thought, oh, it's the Asian dude like me. Hey, click this guy. Let's see what he's saying. Watched a few of my videos and thought, oh, he's quite a motivational, positive guy, Asian Tony Robbins. Let's click on him. It seems like followed me, sent me a big DM, a genuine DM, not like a sales pitch, nothing to do with like how much he's making. No, he's just a genuine, hey bro, I saw you're in Dubai. I love the work you're doing. I love your videos. I'm actually going to be coming out there soon. I'd love to connect with you if you have time over coffee. Let me know if you're open to it. If not, no worries. And I just went to his profile, private. I was like, flip, like, how am I going to stalk on him? How am I going to know who he is, right? But I just felt, what? Sometimes you just go with your intuition, your gut feeling. You just sense that this is a good person. So I sensed that, sent him a message back, said, hey, bro, let me know like a week in advance before you come. I'll set up a time, we can meet. And then the second thing that I did was I never go to people first. To test people, to see how serious someone is, you make them come to you. So he didn't know that at the time, but I was like, I'm in the Greens area. That's where I was staying. Like, come down there. There's a really nice coffee spot outside. You can meet me there. He's like, cool, bro. I'll come down. I'll meet you then. And we set up a date. We met, and the rest was history. We became like brothers. We became like friends. We've done so much together. He actually spoke at one of the other events that I hosted in London because first time he came to London a few months ago. So that is the power of meeting strangers that can go to become brothers or your sisters or your next business partner or your next collaboration. And then he's heading back to Chicago on Saturday. So I was like, oh, bro, before you go, like, let's just please do an event while you're in Dubai. And I want him to be here with me so he can share some of the expertise and some of the value that I know that he has. And you guys definitely give him a follow on IG after today because I'm telling you, like he hasn't been making like personal branding content for a long time, but he's coming up with some next level professional Give me too much credit. Valuable. I'm telling you guys, when you see, you'll be like, oh, what's Sadiq's content? Like that video sucks. When you see the quality of the videos that are coming out from his personal brand account soon, that's the power of investing in yourself because he's working with a company. He's investing in himself and his business. But the value that he has and the lessons that he's gone through is what's going to shape all of us to take inspiration from. Because every single one of you sitting here today, you all have a story, a journey, something you're struggling with, a challenge, an obstacle, and someone sitting here as well can actually help you. And the people in our community are those types of people who are generous, who are kind, who are honest, who want to serve you, who want to help. And that's where the concept of servant leadership for me came from, of why I made servant leadership the core value of How to Human Community. The reason why I started How to Human Community 14 events ago in London in October last year, purely because, like I said, I was just in that moment of hustling in my business, working one on one, missing out on human interactions. And I was like, also all these school people, all these school events and these school communities are pissing me off. Alex Hormozy, as much as I love him, his community stuff was annoying me because everybody was just there to make money in the community. And I was seeing no value. And like these people don't actually want to help you. They just want to bring you into a community and sell you their thing, their coaching, their fitness program, whatever it is. But none of them actually like genuinely want to help you. They don't actually want to care. They don't put people together like this and want to like ask you, hey, what are you struggling with? What are your challenges? What are your obstacles? How can we help you to progress on your journey? So for me, I started the community as purely the intention that I just want to meet like-minded, positive, good souls, and I want to find ways that we can have win-win collaborations. So instead of, hey, Cleona, like I know that you're doing this amazing work. I know, please give me this. Can you help me with this? People are like, yeah, but how are you going to help me, Sadiq? Right? In your mind, you might not say it, but in your mind, you're thinking, oh, this guy is just taking everything from me, but what am I gaining from him? He's just come to his events, but he's not actually adding value to my business, to my life in any way, right? So we have to learn to actually connect with people on a human level, build friendship, build meaningful connections with each other. Then naturally, you guys will see, like the guys in London are already doing business with each other. Because naturally, you will see that it's inevitable that when you like someone, when you get to know them, when you trust them, you're going to be able to find a way to synergetically do something with them. My topic for today, right? The power of authentically networking. It's kind of like what I shared already, but in a nutshell, the reason why I wanted to quickly touch on this is because in a world of social media, in a world where we all live online, we're all consuming and swiping up and down every single day. How many of you guys actually genuinely connect with someone online without feeling like, oh, they want something from me? Or they're following me because of something I'm posting, or they fancy me, or they like me, or something like that. Like, how many of you guys genuinely connect with someone and be like, wow, that's a really cool, nice friend. That's a really good human that I can potentially be a partner with in business, or collaborate with them, or find a synergetic way to do something with them, right? Intuition is a huge thing. I like that you said it's a female thing as well. It's a woman's thing. I'm like, we have intuition too, but we suck at it. Yeah, most men. No. Nothing to be sorry about. Honestly, I was just kidding, but it's true. Like it's from a brain neuroscience perspective. Yeah, the female brain is different to the male brain. Hence, why you guys are better when it comes to emotions, dealing with emotions, feeling the emotions, reacting to emotions than men are. Hence, why men have bigger toll in mental health challenges than majority of the time than females, because at least with you guys you can go get therapy, you can ask for help, talk to your friends, whereas we or cry, yeah, just cry it out, scream into the pillow. But for guys, we genuinely we can't speak to each other about it because it's like, oh yeah, he thinks he's a weak man. And, yeah. For me, it's movement. It's moving your body. And I love what you said about curiosity. That's the key word. Curiosity is what builds connection. If you don't, and I was telling Tayyib on the way here in the car, I was saying, like when you come tonight, this is his first networking event. He's a young guy, I was like, dude, don't worry, nothing to be nervous about. There's going to be so many amazing human beings there. You're going to see how I've been building this community, because he's only been watching videos and stuff of me doing the community, but he's never been part of one. So today I was like, you're going to come along. I was like, yeah, you're going to come with us. You're going to see how and what we are actually doing in Dubai, in our business. So you can understand, like, what are we trying to create in the world of trying to build connections, build a business, help our families, build a future for ourselves. But just like Sabi said, curiosity is the number one thing. And remember, I said to you, like, just be curious. Ask them curious questions. Hey, I'm curious. What made you get into psychology, Sabi? Hey, Elsa, how did you learn about that type of emotional like coaching that you do right now? You know, just asking those curious questions opens someone else's mind, but it also opens something very powerful, which is the humanness to connect with someone on a deeper level. That's what is we're trying to actually do. Because the reality is people love talking more than us. So the best skill that I ever learned in my whole entire life, aside from confidence, is listen. Listening is the best. I can get the hardest person that you put in front of me to like me by the end of the evening, because I know exactly how to push their buttons, what questions to ask, how to be curious to the point that I listen so much to them all evening, and they're like, Sadiq, it's actually not usually very hard for me to get along with people, but you're such a good guy, you are. I did nothing but sit there in the evening and listen. And I'm telling you guys, it's such a powerful skill. When you get a chance, the next conversations that you have, the next conversations that you start, listen to people. Obviously, not on social media because you can't really listen through the text messages. But guess what I do on LinkedIn? How I connect with people on LinkedIn. As soon as I send a request out or someone connects with me on LinkedIn and I accept their request, the first thing I do, the humanness in me sends them a voice note on LinkedIn, a platform where everybody's trying to sell themselves and labels and I'm this, I'm that. I'm just like, hey Henna, great to be connected with you. I really appreciate you, connecting with me on LinkedIn. Curious to know how you found me. I'm always curious to know how someone found me on LinkedIn, but totally fine. Would love to hear more about your work and what you're doing and how I can support you. Let me know. That's it. And you listen to it because, again, curiosity, you're going to see the play button and you're going to want to press play. Like, someone on LinkedIn or Instagram sent me a voice note. Mhm. Personalization is like the key. We have to find something from their profile that you can take from there. For example, Maria, right? She's big into fitness. So if I was to reach out to Maria, I wouldn't just be like, "Hey, Maria, like, I love your fitness stuff, great stuff. I'd love to connect with you." She'd be like, "What the hell is this loser? Another loser in my DMs trying to get to me." Exactly. But if I was like, "Hey, Maria, I love the videos you're posting. They're really inspiring. You're helping me lose body fat. You're helping me lose weight in the gym based on what you're sharing and some of the captions you shared. I also noticed that you're an expert in the gym. Would love to ask you a question when you have some time about how I can work on my nutrition the way that you have done to, so I can get abs." Then you're more likely to be like, okay, maybe this guy is not hitting on me, but he has a curious question. He has a curious question he's asking me. And then you will decide if you want to reply to that DM or not. At least you're more comfortable to reply to that DM than someone that just comes and says something directly to you. So we have to indirectly find something that's relatable to them. And that's the key to building relationship in the most authentic way. Connect with people curiously, personalized, find a way to connect your humanness to theirs. And the biggest key, my biggest key, is have no expectations. This is where everybody goes wrong in networking. They want to talk to Cleona because they want to extract something from her. I talk to people with like this, super open and friendly and just crazy dude that I am. And I have no expectations that Maria or Henna or Sabi is going to give me something. Nothing. I don't need anything from you. Later on, when I get to know you and I get to know the value that you have, then I might be like, oh, she's really good at this thing that I'm struggling with right now. I might actually ask her, like, would she be open to tell me more about her expertise or her field? Then, because I've built a relationship with her, she'll be more likely to share more about what the work that she does is. And then on a more human level, we're networking and we're connecting with each other. And then before you know it, I mean, you're a new client, they're a new partner, your collaborations going on, everybody's helping each other. But connecting on human level is the most important thing. So that's like what I wanted to quickly share this evening about networking, curiosity, having the confidence to reach out to people the same way, and don't expect people to come to you, by the way. And this is the last thing I'm going to share before I give it to Amir. Don't expect other people to come to you. When you are struggling with a challenge, an obstacle in your business, in your life, with your career, don't expect other people to come to you. If you're the one who's struggling with something, you have to seek the guidance. You have to seek the conversation. You have to start the conversation. The same way every single one of you are sitting here right now because I messaged you. I commented to your comment, right? Or when you followed me on Threads, I came and started the interaction. I left a little note saying, "Hey, I've got a WhatsApp group. I'd love for you to come and join it." Then your curiosity went to my profile, spied on me, see if I'm a legit person, and thought, "Oh, he's actually quite a nice guy. He's doing some really cool stuff. He's in Dubai and London." She's like, "I didn't check." You didn't check. So why not? Why did you guys not?
He's trustworthy enough.
Oh, he's a coach, George. Must be legit.
But not your IG. I don't know if I follow you, so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll all follow each other after today. It's fine. This is the whole point of the community. Is like I don't again expectations, right? I didn't expect no one to follow me. All I expected was even if 5 people came today, that was my expectation. If there was more than 5, I was like, I told Avi on the way out, if there's more than 5, bro, I'm happy. You know, there's some content to be here. It's going to be a good evening. Those people, in my mind, you see the way that I think as a mindset performance coach, the way that I think is that I know the value that I have to add to every single one of you here. I've been doing this for 10 years. So I know the level of depth and value that I can add to each one of you individually. Because I know that and I believe in me and I trust myself and I know my worth and my value, that's why I never worry about other people's opinions. And that's why I know that when all the people that didn't come today, as amazing as they are and they're in the group and they're excited to come to the next one, they lost this blessed evening to come and meet all of you guys in person, right? Because maybe you guys won't be here on the next one, but they might be. But they missed out on connecting with you. They missed out on learning from us. They missed out on all the gems that you guys have been dropping. So yeah, the last thing is no expectations. You start conversations. You go and reach out to people. You take action, and the results will come. But you have to always take initiative. That's the last thing I wanted to share about authentically networking. Before I hand it over to Amir to share a little bit about, he honestly, again, he has so much value. He can talk about so many different topics. So his journey is like really big, and from personal development to becoming confident, from losing his hair. Yeah, as a guy, when you lose your hair and go bald, and then you come back like that, like that's what you call a real comeback, right? That's like a real testimony in front of you from someone that's losing hair, lost and went bald, started making YouTube videos, and then now he's like an influencer when it comes to the e-com, the product that he's launched and that he's created from all his own journey. So he's like the real testimony of someone that, again, the reason why I love his product and his business and what he does is because it's attached to him. He can passionately tell you, and if you're losing hair, he can tell you exactly the science, the root cause, the exact product, the exact chemicals or whatever it is that he can provide you. And he can say, I've got the product, but you don't have to buy mine. You can go and do research and buy your own one. But my one has everything that you need. If you just have to keep applying it every single month. Otherwise, it's going to stop. The same way as if you go to the gym and you don't apply those reps every single day, your abs are going to go. Your legs are going to start becoming, not as big as you'd like them to be. Your muscles are start going to decline. So it's just like going to the gym. Life is just like the gym. The more reps you put in, the more action you take, the more you do every single day, the better outcomes and results you're going to find. So nonetheless, Amir, over to you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Are you going to have to chuck this on you as well?
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Sadiq. Again, this guy is just a powerhouse of value, powerhouse of anything like positivity, inspiration, coaching. He's a one man show, and he's not. You may think he's like this right now, but I live with this guy. And 3 a.m. He's the same way the way he is right now. He's the same way at like any time of the day. You can ask Sayyid, you can ask anybody. He just doesn't stop. He's like the Energizer Bunny, but for like positivity. That's amazing. But a little bit about me. I didn't want to like say too much. I don't know how much time limit that we did have. So just to give you a quick a rundown of myself. My name is Amir. Obviously, you guys know that. So my journey growing up was a lot different, and that's why I love what Sadiq preaches and everything, because of the level of people that he's able to bring together, right? And for me, my upbringing was a lot different than people who are traditionally brought up and like the school system and everything. For me, I not dropped out, but I was basically homeschooled from 3rd grade. So going into basically high school and normal, school and everything. When I went into my first math class, I didn't even know that math had like letters in there or like X or something, which I knew I was like super behind. So for me, that was my main spark for like, hey, I have a lot of catching up to do. I have to actually grow and improve, and not just the math and the English and the science, but in all aspects of my life, right? So my goal when I first just stepped into school was like, okay, now do I have to like catch up with like the rest of the kids and everything? I have to actually, develop in all other aspects of my life. And that's when I fell in love with the whole self-improvement process and being the best version of yourself in all aspects of your life, mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, all that kind of stuff. And when I saw, what Sadiq preaches and everything, I was like, this guy is basically me. Just like, all the stuff that I've been speaking of, it's just like an extension of everything that I've already, known and loved.
With hair.
Just with hair, yeah, that's the only thing. So
Thank God.
yeah, thank God. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah. So essentially, when I was on my personal development journey, I was going through a lot, right? And that's when I was consuming all the content, all the books, all the TED Talks, anything you can find. I still don't watch any TV shows, movies, video games, anything. I just love to just watch videos or do something or have some sort of content or information that I think that I can walk away from and be a better person. Now, with that came a lot of information overload in my life, which I chose to just share and get it out on paper. Is this mic working, by the way?
It's working, but it's like
It's going in and out, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe keep it closer.
Okay. So yeah, so basically with me consuming all the content, and I think that the mic is just whatever. But with me consuming all the content and trying to, not knowing basically what to do with information, I was like, the best thing I could do is just share it. And that's when in 2017 I created a YouTube channel, just sharing my whole my personal development journey. And then slowly at the same time I started going bald. And I was like, okay, like at the age of 19, which was like crazy, right? At that time you're like really getting into college, you're like trying to be the best version of yourself, like especially with like, while you're young, and having to look like I'm like 30 when I'm 19 was like not the move. So that was like the main subject of what I wanted to share, because I also did a lot of information seeking on that aspect. And I was just sharing my hair growth journey, all the products I'm using, all that kind of stuff. And within 3 years of consistently posting, I realized that the self-improvement stuff was not getting as much traction as the hair stuff, because this is something that people genuinely were struggling with. They can physically see that was affecting their confidence. And that's when I decided to go all in into the hair pursuit, because I had more information than the average person. A few years later, I had a clinic reach out to me and they're like, hey, we want to give you a free hair transplant and just come to Turkey. We'll just get that done. And, after, a year or so, I got my hair back. But while I was doing that, and I got the hair transplant and everything, I was sharing my journey along the way. Like, hey guys, this is month 1, month 2, month 3. And then people saw the progress of my hair growing. And after a year, the clinic came back to me and like, hey, based on the videos that you made for us, you just did $1 million in sales for us. I'm like, what the hell? Like that's crazy. But the real question, I was like, where's my million? That's why I was like, like that's cool. But now it gave me the power of like influencer marketing, the power of social media, and that's when I truly understood, like, if you really are able to monetize your content, you are able to speak on a pain point or make yourself vulnerable and share like a journey. That's where your true power really lies, and where people can really come to connect. Because when people are struggling, they don't vocalize it to their friends, especially in the men's community. We don't like vocalize our problems. Rather, we just go on the internet and go on YouTube and like how to deal with whatever, right? And we're not like, crazy, like expressing our feelings and doing all that kind of stuff. So basically from doing that, it gave me the idea like, hey, after analyzing all of my community, what they needed, and the kind of stuff that they were looking for, a lot of people were not ready for a hair transplant. So that's when I had to think of a solution that's like in the medium that still gets people hair, but without actually going through such an invasive procedure. And that's when I decided to stumble across like hair products and everything, right? And again, I've had lots of ups and downs building this business, lots of failures. I was in a lot of debt. Like, I didn't just like come to Dubai just like that. And finally figured it out, scaled it to 7 figures, and now like we're doing okay. But the main lesson that I wanted to like share with you guys, because I realized that when it comes to like self-improvement, how you do one thing is how you do everything, and how the lessons I've learned growing up, and the things that I've learned. I'm definitely not the smartest person in the room. You guys are way smarter than I don't even have a college degree. You guys are way smarter than me. And I was like, hey, if these guys actually like tried and like did anything in the entrepreneurial space, it's a big threat to me. Because I was like, if a dummy like me can like do and figure out this business stuff out, I feel like anybody can, as long as they put their head down and they focus, right? But I think when the self-improvement space in any sort of like thing that you're trying to grow or you're trying to figure out, we often get really consumed by the idea of feeling like we don't have the information enough. We still don't have the right network. We don't have the right idea. We don't have the right skills or anything yet. But I think that as people continue to suck in those skills, there's only so much that you can learn. It's like trying to learn about swimming without actually like ever going into the pool. And what I learned personally in my life from scaling, in all aspects of my life is just simply jumping in first and figuring it out along the way, because that taught me so much more than, me actually learning about it, reading it ever could. Because when you consistently read about something, you consistently watch videos, TED Talks, all that, and then you're like, okay, now that I have all the information, I'm going to go ahead and take action. But it's quite the opposite that happens, because what happens is essentially you get into analysis paralysis, right? You're like, okay, like now that I have this information, you're like, you're literally dying from all the information that you've consumed. So instead, what really worked for me was just simply jumping into it and just figuring things out as I go. Because again, I'm not a reader. I practically have like ADHD, right? I can't like sit still and like, do a lot of things. And naturally I'm an introvert too, so I can't speak. So this is like very outside of my comfort zone. So even right now, like I had some notes prepared, but I was like, I'm not even gonna look at this. I'm just gonna like just speak and see whatever comes to my mind and just figure it out along the way. So that's one of the key lessons that really helped me get to where I am. And I think a lot of us take our talents for granted. Like we have so much value to share. We have so many experiences that we have that we ourselves take for granted. Like for some of us, like it's in the therapeutic space, right? Or like in the gym space, or in the mental health space. For us, this is normal because we live this stuff day to day, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is normal. Yeah, of course, this person is diagnosed with X, Y, and Z. But that person, the information that you have, may be like the holy grail for them to like understand like what the hell is going on with them. So we don't appreciate our own talents, and instead we always try to seek more and more and more, rather than doubling down in what we actually already possess and kind of taking out from there. And I think that also creates a lot of self-doubt within us. Like, hey, am I good enough? Do I have X, Y, and Z? But instead, if you truly focus and look internally and focus on, hey, what can I do with this value that I have, with this knowledge that I have? Can I share it? Can I give value to others? Can I don't know, use this information to, start a business, right? Instead of thinking of like, hey, I need like the next iPhone that I need to invent, right? Or think of something completely unique. Because true with it, when it comes to like entrepreneurship, it's not really about like inventing the next like great thing. It's really about taking what's already working and then marketing it. Because marketing is the main thing. Because you can have an amazing product and shitty marketing and nobody buys it, or you can have a shitty product and an amazing marketing and everybody will buy it, right? But ideally, you don't want to scam people, right? We want to have a good product and good marketing. And when those two things come together, then that's the magic. So that's one of the key things that I really wanted to like share with you guys. And along the way, a lot of people in Sadiq's last event, someone actually asked me, which was like a key defining moment for me. They said, hey, I'm thinking of getting into XYZ business, but I'm really afraid of failure. Like, how do you deal with failure along the way? And the funny thing about me is when that question came to me, I was like, I thought I was gonna have some really wise answer to like give to someone that's like, you can like have like a podcast like on the side, like have the mic come up. But the funny thing is, when I thought about giving the answer, my whole life, like 28 years being in this earth, all I've known was failure, right? So it became so normal to me that whenever I did something, I was like, of course I'm gonna fail. Of course it's not gonna go right. Of course, like I'm gonna mess it up somehow, right? So because when it was so normal for me to fail, that when I finally achieved some sort of like success, quote unquote, I was like, it was so unfamiliar. Like I had crazy imposter syndrome. Even for me to be in Dubai, I'm like, what the hell? Like I don't deserve this. I'm just some dummy without a college degree, like trying to figure this all out. There's so many people that are more smarter, more capable than me, but it's just when you do these things and you actually step into failure, that's going to teach you so much more along the way that when you become comfortable in it, success is going to feel like, oh, wait, what the other, like this is not normal, right? I think it's honestly, it's a great feeling because it keeps you humble too, right? Because there's also the other side of people that you see here in Dubai and they think they're the shit, they're on top of the world. And yeah.
Make you money. money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get rich quick. 90 days or your money back. Yeah.
All that money.
Yeah. No, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's honestly a blessing to have, but at the same time, like it's a very normal feeling, and we have to be able to understand and appreciate our own talents. And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is if we share it with others. And that's why the whole community aspect is so important, right? Because again, what's obvious to you may be profound for someone else, and what's profound for someone else may be obvious to you, right? So that's why when we have like-minded people, when we have people that are growth-oriented, that want to level up in all aspects of life, and we share our journeys together, we talk about all of our struggles, we talk about our expertise, we're like, okay, we finally have a safe space where we can talk about it. Many times, you know, especially back in Dubai, it's not really a problem because you see a lot of like growth-oriented people, but I'm sure back home, you talk about some of the concepts, they're like, bro, what are you talking about, right? No, this guy asked me the same thing. No, some people they just have kids for the sake of having kids, right? That's another really yeah like yeah. So basically, don't make your job your personality, and don't make what your achievements your personality. Rather, what you should aim for is value, right? What value or skill that I have that I can genuinely help or put out to the world that they can take in and actually benefit from. Yeah, honestly, when it comes to, I guess, sharing value, it really depends on who you're getting it from too, right? Because not everybody who has a podcast or not everybody holding a microphone is eligible for that, right? And not every advice is applicable to you. That's a very important thing. No, so a lot of times, right, when we even give advice, a lot of people aren't even ready to receive it, even though they may need it. So for those people, you keep going again and again, and if they don't listen, then you just let them go, right? You let them like crash, right? And that's the only way. Like some people are more, they're not visual learners; they're more like action-based learners, and you just kind of let them, yeah, let them do it.
Thank you, sir. The content creator forgot. Okay. I think let's just go over like a summary of like what we kind of touched on today, right? And the first thing we spoke about was the power of authentically networking. How do we build genuine human connections with each other? Is by being curious, by asking the right questions, by listening more than we try to give to everybody else, and by being of service without expectation, without wanting anything from anybody. Rather, we give knowing that the universe, God, whoever you believe in, is going to give it back to you in abundance. The reason why I am able to attract all of you from Threads is because you, at some point, the energy that I put out, I attracted back into my life, back into what this is, which is a community, which is the only way that as humans we crave every single day to be around humans like us. How many of you guys have been living here for so many years, yet you still haven't found good people like this in Dubai? I was born and raised in London, and I can tell you that everybody there just wants something from you. They all just want to pitch you their thing, take from you, and then they meet me and they're like, what the hell? Like, this guy doesn't ever, he hasn't even asked for anything. He hasn't sold me anything. We can see on his profile he's a coach and this, but he hasn't sold us a coaching package. He hasn't told us that, like, how he can coach us, what he can help us with, nothing. Why? Because I'm just sitting there listening to their story, building relationship with them, building that human connection. Because I know that eventually, if they need support, they're going to come to me. And they're going to say, oh, Sadiq, you're such a positive person before we come and ask you. Not knowing that, maybe in my coaching with my clients, that's actually what I do. But that's okay. I just play the game of human connection. I play the game of interacting with people until one day they either lose you or they stop coming to a community event or they stop being part of your journey. Then that's what I always like to say the saying, they lost out on a blessing, AKA me. Because like I said before, when you know your worth, when you know your value, you are a blessing to people in your life. When my clients talk positively about me to others, they're saying all these things that I've supported and guided them on, but not because I did the work for them. They all changed their own lives. I've just guided them. I was just a little, this is me. I'm the lantern. I always talk about it in my content. I am the lantern. I walk around like this in the front. And whoever's coming with me, we're going to go to the top of the Burj Khalifa. Like, we're going to all win together. We're all going to support each other. We're all going to help each other. We're all going to build something big by helping each other without expecting everybody to give and just not expect anything in return. It's always got to be a win-win. How can I help you and how can you help me and how can we happily have a good relationship? Because I promise you, the biggest difference between friendship and in like a normal friendship and friendship in business is when you start doing business with your friends, then things get funky. Then you lose friends because of the business. Because you talk about money, because you talk about expectations, because you talk about they have to do this and you have to do this. And without human connection, without setting boundaries with each other, without having those healthy conversations and communication with each other, you are never going to have a fulfilling, fruitful relationship for the long term. So we have to focus on building these meaningful connections. And I'm just like this. I'm just a lantern. I'm just a light. Based on my 10 years of experience, I'm just walking in the front saying, hey guys, don't go that way. Follow the light. Because I've been that way. It's bad. It's wrong. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fail. Follow the shortcut. Like I'm the shortcut. Follow me. Ask me. Learn from me. Like come and ask questions. But without having a light in your life, a guidance, some kind of a parallel, like a focused purpose, you're never going to get to your goals and your dreams and aspirations that you have. Because I truly believe the only way that every single one of us sitting here can become successful, can build something that we love, can go into that next career, to start that business like Cleona here. The only way you're going to do that, Cleona, is when you talk to people here that have just started a business, they're going to be like, oh, Cleona, we can give you some tips. Like, please don't do this. Don't go with this guy in Dubai because he's going to scam you 15,000 dirhams to help you start a company. Go with my friend. They're only going to charge you 7,000 dirhams and they can set up your companies from scratch. And again, I learned this the hard way because I met dodgy people when I first came here. So again, artful dodgers, exactly. Those people are everywhere. Just they want a quick buck. Anything to just come, extract from you, disappear because Dubai is a big city. You're never gonna see them again. So those are the wrong people to surround yourself with. Again, coming back in a 360 circle to the How to Human community, I really want this to be a space for all of us where we can actually build real human connections, build friendships with each other, ask for help, ask for guidance, never feel like someone's going to judge you. But also, you guys, please be considerate when you're talking to people in the group or in person. Just don't judge anybody based on however cuckoo they are. And believe me, there's some of the guys that you meet in the London group, you will see some of them are like cuckoo. I can say that because they know I positively like have banter with them now. But this is a place for us cuckoos to feel like we have a space, to feel like this is like no one judges me here. Like when Maria first came in, she was like scared, looking at everybody, thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm shy. Everybody's looking at me. I've never had so many people stare at me like this in an event." But as soon as I gave her the microphone, she was like, "No, no, no, no microphone. Like I just want to talk." I know exactly how she feels. Because again, 10 years ago, I was the super shy introvert. I was the person that couldn't interact with a girl without weird tears coming down my eyes. Because all I was thinking about was she's judging the crap out of me. And I am so scared right now. I don't know what she's thinking, but it's not good. She's probably thinking about the spot on my face, my hair, how I look. And I just felt like everybody's judging me until the day I had my own paradigm shift. And I just answered my own question, which was, Sadiq, why do you care about what other people think about you in the world? Why can't I not just find something that I love and just go all in and do that thing, making mistakes, going through the failures, and just doing what I genuinely love, which is this speaking, coaching, helping people, guiding people, supporting people, asking questions, answering questions. I love it because I think as humans, we always tend to go into the place which was our biggest weakness. So I created my biggest weakness, shyness, introversion, to now be the complete opposite strength of mine, bold, confident, courageous. So now when people come to me, they're like, Sadiq, we want to be like you. We want to talk like you. We want to be able to have the energy like you. Like he said, at 3 a.m., I'm still buzzing like this. Like, dude, go to this. Go. It's the whole time, bro. Like, just relax. We're gonna like just chill for right now. But I can't help it. When you love what you're doing and every day is an exciting day and you know that you're building something meaningful. For me, that's the biggest thing. Building this, attracting all these eyeballs and these souls in this rooftop right now today from one platform, Threads. I'm going to talk about that because this is just all of you from one platform. Imagine if I actually marketed and hosted this on Eventbrite and Locals and Meetup.com and all these platforms. Dude, we're gonna need like a bigger, a bigger rooftop, a whole ass big spot. But I want that I want that, and I can see it happening, and I know it's going to happen, but I can't do it by myself. That's the key. Like I can't do this by myself. That's why I'm creating a community so I can, like you said, we can help you, Sadiq. We don't mind being the photographer, the videographer, the people helping you in the back. Totally fine, because you will know the value that you're getting from me on top. That's the reciprocation. It's not just, oh, do that thing for me, and yeah, thank you, community. I love them. They're my videographers and photographers, and they're spending time doing that. But it's like you're getting the value from me on top of that, not just from the events, but afterwards when I speak to you, you have that one-on-one time with me without having to pay. So it's like bonus win-win situation. Again, thank you every single one of you for coming tonight. I'm genuinely from the bottom of my heart so grateful, so just thankful for you all coming. And I ordered some stuff, so they're gonna bring some stuff up, and I'd love if all of you guys could just genuinely connect with each other, extract numbers, IG, LinkedIn, whatever you need to do. And one last thing, whoever, you can put your hands up, whoever wants to actually join the main How to Human group that I already have that I started in London, I'd love for you guys to also meet the guys in that group. So whenever you guys do come to London in the future, when you come for travels, holidays, or whatever, or whenever we have a meetup and you just want to come for that, you'll have a family there too. You'll know that you can go there and you already have friends part of the community. That's why I wanted to make it a global community. So then the Dubai people, the Canada people, the US people, will eventually one group, global, but everybody knows that, oh, I can just reach out to Cleona because she's in Dubai. I can reach out to Amir because he's gone back to Chicago and I need like some support in Chicago with something. Whatever it is, right? Like there's always going to be a way for all of us to connect the dots. This is a place with there's no ageism, there's nothing. Like everybody's welcome here. That's how I'm creating the community. I don't want it to feel like a space where Sadiq doesn't like this people and like get lost. Yeah, you're not allowed in here. It's like no, it's open for all because I believe in humans. And at the end of the day, we can judge someone's belief system or values or principles, but they're human, same like you. Maybe they've just gone down the wrong path, or maybe they're just stuck, maybe they're just going through a bad time in their journey. But we're human. We're all going to make mistakes. That's why we need community to bring us back so we can follow the light. But that's it for me. Appreciate you guys for coming, and let's mingle without the dating stuff.